The Bert Show.
Time to get buzzed on the hot goss from Hollywood with Abby. It's the Bert Show's entertainment buzz.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson would like a word with all of Hollywood because his former co-star, Rebecca Ferguson, is calling out someone she worked with who she says scolded her on set. This is an interview with Rain with John Smith.
When do you think you've been proudest of using your own voice?
I did a film with an absolute idiot of a co-star. And this human being was being so insecure and angry because this person couldn't get the scenes out. And I think I was so vulnerable and uncomfortable that I got screamed at. And I would cry walking off set. This person would literally look at me in front of the whole crew and say, "You call yourself an actor. This is what I have to work with. What is this?" And I stood there just breaking. This happens. But because this person was number one on a call sheet, there was no safety net for me. So no one had my back. And I remember the next day I walked on and I said, "You get off my set." This is the first time I've ever spoken. I remember being so scared. And I looked at this person and I said, "You can F off. I'm going to work towards a tennis ball. I never want to see you again." And then I remember the producers came up and said, "You can't do this to number one. We have to let this person be on set." And I said, "But the person can turn around and I can act to the back head."
Wow.
And I did. I was so scared. I feel it now when I'm saying it. But from that moment, I have never let myself get to a point when I've got home and gone, why did that happen?
So now people are dying to know which actor treated her this way. And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson would like to know as well because he responded on Twitter. He said, "Hate seeing this, but love seeing her stand up to BS. Rebecca was my guardian angel sent from heaven on our set. I love that woman. I'd like to find out who did this." And they're going to be in big trouble.
So when you go down like her IMDb page or whatever and you see who the leading men were, who are we even considering?
So she clarified that it's not Hugh Jackman, who she worked with on The Greatest Showman. It's not Tom Cruise, which I found a little surprising. He seems a little tense. So now people have narrowed it down to a couple of different people. There's Jake Gyllenhaal.
Guilty!
All the Swifties are like, yes! Michael Fassbender, Ewan McGregor, Chris Hemsworth, and then a couple of other smaller names, but they were number one on the call list, so it's got to be a big name. Most people's theory is that it's Jake Gyllenhaal because he recently worked with a director who they did not had a lot of poor things to say about him, essentially. Okay. And they ended up parting way because of quote-unquote creative differences. And I think with his less than stellar reputation with the Gen Z women of the world because of his breakup with Taylor Swift, people are more than happy to throw some more wood into the fire.
That goes on his permanent record right there, that relationship with Taylor.
When you have a 10-minute song about you that goes number one for a couple of weeks, it's going to be really hard for me to take your side.
And he never wears scarves again.
He'll never wear scarves again. So something else that's been going viral on the internet is this Willy Wonka experience from Scotland.
I heard about this, man. It's like a pop-up, right?
Yeah, it was called Willy's Chocolate Experience, which is basically a way to get around the whole copyright thing with Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. It was basically this bogus weekend event happening in Glasgow. It was $35 to enter, and it was basically being sold as like a Willy Wonka experience, but without the actual credit behind it being a Willy Wonka experience.
And you know, we parents are desperate to do anything with our kids on the weekend, so we're signing up left and right.
It ended with nearly an angry mob because police were called at the end because they were so upset. And now one of the actors who played Willy Wonka is speaking about how ratchet of an experience it is. He says, I shouldn't have even been Willy Wonka.
I wanted to say that I feel for anyone who bought tickets to this event, people who are expecting a magical chocolate experience and got me in a top hat in a dirty warehouse in Glasgow. Anyone who looks at me and thinks Willy Wonka and not Oompa Loompa is out of their mind. I give off major Oompa Loompa energy, but not like a good Oompa Loompa, like one that's at the back during the dance numbers.
In an instance like this, it's good to undersell and over-deliver. But they did the exact opposite. They're calling it the Fire Festival for Children. So what they pitched, right? And it was AI photographs of like this candy land, right? And just like lollipops and chocolate rivers, and I mean, it looked glorious. And then you walk in, and it looked like a meth lab. It was so sad. It's so pathetic. I was cackling, but then feeling for the parents because I'm like, yeah, you spend money. And if you have like a family of 4 and you just shelled out like, almost $40 for your family to go, yeah, you have every right to be pissed. And I understand. I mean, parents are already on the verge of being pushed over a ledge anyway. This, I can understand why an angry mob was about to form.
Maybe it was a Breaking Bad pop-up and they got it. They got it mixed up.
The fire festival for kids like sent me over the edge,
That's
dude.
hilarious.
It was so funny.
Yeah, they said that when they walked in, they were instructed to give the kids 1 jelly bean, a singular jelly bean, and a quarter of a cup of lemonade. So at least they got something. All right, millennials have noticed that Beyonce's Texas Hold'em sounds a lot like a theme song from a popular kids show. We will compare them on your next eBuzz on The Bert Show.
Hey, The Bert Show.